I realize what they're doing now with tearing down all these statues is they're destroying. They want a Black History Month, but they don't want any Black history. I don't know what year they want to start out at, but if they wipe out all the Black history here, somebody has gotten to, I don't know, leaders of, I don't know if it's Black history or what it is, but maybe the African, wherever the coast is that has all those doorways and dungeons and all that stuff that all these slaves were put in before they were put in boats, and all these historical artifacts in Africa that they're preserving as they're preserving stuff down in South America. I don't see anybody protesting that any of this stuff be torn down. Yet they're keeping it around as historical reference. And so what they're going to do is somebody came along and convinced these people to tear down all the statues here, so that if you wanted to see historic Black history, you'd have to go to Africa. So is this just another scam? It's like a world scam. They're going to tear. I mean, they're tearing down statues in Britain. I don't know where else they're tearing them down. I don't know if they tear them down in France and stuff like that. But so there's no history here in the U.S. So they're going to wipe out all the Black history here in the U.S. and say that it never existed. It only existed in Africa. And nobody's making money on the statues here, but they are having tours making money on slavery in Africa. So I think it's a big, giant tourist thing is what they're tearing down all these statues for. Somebody got it, but they're not going to transfer that into their speeches of why they want to tear down this stuff here. So I'm just noticing that. I'm not, I don't have any say in anything. The artist, whoever did it, probably had different reasons, like they named something this or they named something that after Confederate generals or whatever, not in reference to them being right or wrong, but only as there was a figure that. And basically all statues are figures. They're not historical references to being correct in what they did. They're historical figures. So, but I'm not in charge of who puts up a statue or who tears down a statue or who preserves a statue, except my taxes. My taxes, I'm sure, go to that from some parks and recreational stuff. But what I'm saying, I don't know if we have anything here in Iowa or not. But as far as just a statue or whatever, I know there's no ports or anything like that here. But is this a double standard that they're allowing this to stay in, say, South America? I don't know what, I can't remember what country they said there's a port, and then there's a bunch of heads over, and there's heads, and there's that doorway, and there's a dungeon, and I don't know what else they got there in Africa that they're giving tours of. So I mean, they're making money on slavery, which is, they made money on slavery when slavery was around. So the people that sold all these people into slavery were making money on it. The kings or whatever they were of villages or tribes or whatever that were selling people, that were probably attacking them, that were invading their village, or they weren't, there might have been whatever, however, just what you get from history, which they're erasing, which it'll be like the Holocaust and neo-Nazis and stuff saying that the Holocaust never existed. you know, but they got all that stuff over there. Maybe they should tear down all the Jewish, all the Holocaust museums and stuff, you know. You know, they're saying, well, this, you know, they're saying it should never happen again because of this, you know. So, should they tear down all the Holocaust? Should they tear down everything historical where somebody died? All the World War II statues, people died, you know, uh, for government, for an agenda. World War One, you know, what are they going to do? Well, you know, at what point you say anything bad should be torn down? You know, you got murderers, you got rapists, you got people killing babies. Should they tear down the Planned Parenthood? Should they tear down all these doctors' offices that are killing babies, the innocent babies? You're not saying anything about that. You don't see those babies being able to live for, you know, a couple hundred years later and saying, well, where were our rights? You know, and then going back and saying, well, we want to tear down these abortion statues. You don't see aborted babies going around being able to protest, do you? No, but you got all these people protesting something that they have people actually around that are able to protest. You know, but they're meat eaters. You know, and they're talking about oppression, yet they eat meat. You know, what are you saying? There's no oppression there. You're killing. Look at the elephants. You know, look at cows. Look at pigs. Look at chickens. All these stuff dies, and you turn it to sewage, and you think there's no oppression. You think there's never living. Human race has got a long way to go before they can talk about being human or humane. A long way to go.